Hello and welcome to this special coverage. Now, this, if you thought was going to be a boring election result, then voters are certainly throwing in a big surprise. Now, all exit polls, what did they predict? They said it would not just be a comfortable majority for the NDA, they would romp home, in fact, covering or going over 400. There were at least two, three exit polls that said NDA numbers would cross the 400 mark. There was no single exit poll that said the NDA numbers would be less than 350. Some other exit polls giving them 378 to up to 390 seats as a alliance. On the other side, the Indian alliance, which has a lot of opposition parties coming together, they were not even given seats that would cross 200. But currently, as things stand, it's turning out to be quite the competition, and the India alliance seems to be putting up quite the fight. Let's look at least three different trends coming in from three different surveys. Now, first, we will go to the C voter survey to tell you exactly what the numbers show as of right now. The NDA alliance currently ahead in 290 seats, and the India alliance currently ahead in 230 seats. So they are looking like they are making a competition out of it. Now let's look at numbers coming in from the Chanakya survey. India ahead 286, India ahead in 230 seats. So again, the numbers are way different from what we saw the exit poll results actually even suggest for the India alliance. And what about Access My India? Access My India again in the same range, 291 for the NDA, 226 for the India alliance. Now, what do these numbers effectively tell you? That we have a fight on our hands. And that is really the interesting story. If these numbers actually hold, it would mean the exit polls have got it wrong once again, and the Indian voter has perhaps not told them quite what they did at the polling booth. Now let's look at some key seats and find out who's leading, who's trailing. And as far as those key seats are concerned, we're going to look at Rahul Gandhi. He is leading in Raebareli. In fact, Rahul Gandhi is contesting on two seats. Remember, the second one is from Wayanad. In fact, Wayanad was the first choice. Raebareli was a rather late decision taken by the Congress party. He's leading on both the seats. What about the other seats? Smriti Iran, in fact, was trailing from Amethi, but where we're going to first talk about Manohar Lal Khattar from Haryana. Now, Haryana was a state that gave the BJP a 10% result in the 2019 elections. All 10 seats went towards the NDA. This time around, the Congress is giving quite a fight there. Manohar Lal Khattar trailing from his seat in Haryana. Like we were mentioning earlier, there are some interesting cabinet ministers in this election who are trailing from their seats. One of them, Smriti Irani from Amethi. In 2019, there was a shock defeat that came in for Rahul Gandhi when he contested from Amethi and lost to Smriti Irani. Currently, Smriti Irani trailing from that Amethi seat versus Dinesh Lal Sharma. Now, Dinesh Lal Sharma is also somebody who has been with the Congress party for years. He is somebody who the Gandhis banked on to take care of their constituency. He knows people in the constituency. He actually has a very good people-to-people contact in the constituency. And even though Rahul Gandhi lost Amethi this time around, the Congress was taking its time to decide whether the Gandhi siblings, and there was conversation and talk about whether Priyanka Gandhi also would be in the fray this time. Of course, she didn't decide to contest. Rahul Gandhi shifted from Amethi to Raebareli, a seat that his mother was contesting till 2019. He is now leading in that seat. Currently, as things stand, BJP is below 272 mark and Congress has hit 100 in the leads. Now, remember, in 2019, the BJP on its own had got 303 seats. Let's talk about Delhi now. There are 7 seats in Delhi. The BJP has won all 7 in 2019. The BJP also won all 7 in 2014. But Manoj Tiwari, he was seeking a third term from his constituency. He is trailing. Sorry, he is leading right now. So who is trailing? Kanhaiya Kumar was pitted against Manoj Tiwari. Kanhaiya Kumar, the Congress candidate, is currently trailing from this seat. Now let's also talk about some other candidates. There was from Haryana, Raj Babbar, who was a rather late entry by the Congress party. He was shifted to Gurgaon, the seat that Rao Indrajit Singh currently holds. Rao Indrajit Singh is trailing from that seat, and Raj Babbar is currently ahead. Last we checked, his lead was about 13,000 votes. Let's move now to West Bengal and Mahua Mofta, the fiery TMC leader who is known for her speeches in parliament. She is the one who is leading currently from Krishnanagar seat. That is going to be a very interesting contest. Let's now look at how things are shaping up as far as the leads are coming in. 290 NDA ahead as per the C voter leads that we're getting in, 230 for the India Alliance as per the numbers that are coming in. But let's talk a little bit about the states as well. Now, NDA has had a very good run in the western part of India in 2019. Gujarat, romping home all seats, Rajasthan, Haryana. These are states. This time around, are we seeing things change slightly in these seats? There's competition we're seeing coming in from the Congress in Haryana. In Gujarat, we're getting some leads, but currently they're in favor more of the BJP. Amit Shah actually leading by 2.5 lakh votes from his seat of Gandhinagar. Remember, BJP has already won one seat of Surat even before the vote was counted today. Now, let's talk about the Hindi heartland and the Hindi belt because that's where BJP has been doing so phenomenally well. Are things changing in Uttar Pradesh? And currently, the way leads are showing, the India Alliance is actually ahead with 43 leads currently. UP, remember, sends the highest number of members of parliament to to the Lok Sabha and 80 seats totally in Uttar Pradesh. Currently, we're seeing that the India Alliance is ahead on 43 and the NDA is down currently to just leads in 36 seats. Now, this is a state that had given 62 seats to the BJP in the last election. And even before that, in 2014, when that big Modi wave came, it had given over 70 seats to the BJP alone. And now, you all know that during the exit polls time, the Congress actually didn't send any of its leaders to be guests on exit polls because they said that exit polls are, stacked up against us, and we're only going to talk on voting day, on counting day. And we've seen the first reactions come in from the Congress party for something which many would have thought was unthinkable. There was a time in this counting day in the morning today when we saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi trailing from his Varanasi seat for at least 2 or 3 rounds. Ajay Rai at that time was leading. Now Prime Minister Modi, of course, he has covered up that deficit and he's now leading by over 15,000 votes. But that's when Jairam Ramesh said this. He talked about how this is a trailer. Take a listen.
ये रुझान दिखाता है कि निवर्तमान भूतपूर्व बनने वाले हैं। ये उनकी नैतिक हार है और राजनीतिक हार है, दोनों राजनीतिक हार और प्रचंड नैतिक हार। ये पहले कभी नहीं हुआ है कि प्रधानमंत्री खुद अपने ही सीट में पीछे चल रहे हैं। ये तो ट्रेलर है। जो नतीजे दिखाई दे रहे हैं वाराणसी में, प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे थे ट्रेलर ट्रेलर ट्रेलर, तो आज उनके ट्रेलर दिखाई दे रहा है।
So now, is this a turnaround thing for the India Alliance, or is it too early? Remember, EVM counting takes its time, and we're probably going to have the results by the afternoon. Initial rounds did show a bit of a seesaw, but what about the BJP's numbers? Will it be so severely impacted? And what happens? Will they be able to maintain their lead and capitalize on it? Now, what we're seeing is that everybody was talking about how we are going to have an election story to tell from the east of India because we're seeing at least the exit polls were giving the BJP phenomenal numbers in Odisha as well as Bengal. But what about the BJP's own bastion, seats that they had actually built over the last 2 elections? And even as we speak about Uttar Pradesh, Smriti Irani is now trailing by over 24,000 votes in Amethi. Now, when Rahul Gandhi decided to give Amethi a skip, many said perhaps Congress should have put up a fight. It would have been a very symbolic thing to do. But Rahul Gandhi chose to contest from Raebareli instead, because Congress felt that it would tie him down to Amethi if he contested from Amethi. And as we talk about Amethi and Raebareli, Uttar Pradesh, is the story changing in Uttar Pradesh? Are things moving away from the NDA in Uttar Pradesh? Rahul Gandhi was leading in Raebareli. He's also leading on the other seat, which is contesting, which is Wayanad as well. Now, because we were talking about how the East could be the place where NDA could make up for some of the deficit it is seeing in the western part of India. Haryana, some challenges there. Rajasthan, the leads are changing too quickly for us to make out what exactly is happening right now and whether the BJP is losing in a big way in Rajasthan, because Rajasthan actually has voted for the BJP both times around, in fact, given it a 7% score. And as we're getting more updates coming in, Samajwadi Party on top in Uttar Pradesh, leading currently on 36 seats. It was always going to be a huge gamble for the Samajwadi Party. Remember, Akhilesh Yadav, in fact, didn't even decide to contest till the very last minute. He's contesting from Kannauj. His wife Dimple is contesting from Mainpuri. Now, these you may say are their pocket borough seats, but the contest that Samajwadi Party is now giving, there is a fight in Uttar Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh could very well turn out to be the key player in the final numbers, in the final tally that the NDA manages to get. So will they balance out what they're losing out from other parts of the country? Because remember, they have made huge strides. They campaigned quite a bit in the south of the country as well as in the east of the country. In the east, in fact, in Odisha, there was a time that we would see the Prime Minister in February, in March, talking about being a friend of Naveen Patnaik, also talking about how he is the best chief minister of the country. But we saw the Prime Minister going in attack mode, saying that there is a CM above the CM. When he held those rallies in Odisha, we saw him talk about a CM above the CM, indirectly targeting Naveen Patnaik. Many other BJP leaders also saying that the Chief Minister of Odisha has been held hostage by a close aide of his. Everybody also talking about K. Pandyan. Some took his name, some leaders didn't take his name, but anybody in Odisha will know who they were talking about. K. Pandyan is the person standing right behind Naveen Patnaik in this picture, as you see it on your screen. Now, he's somebody who was an IAS officer. He is from the Odisha cadre, but he belongs to Tamil Nadu. And because of that, there's a lot of talk within Odisha about whether Tamilians are taking over the governance in Odisha. Himanta Biswa Sarma even going so far as to say, I want to ask the Election Commission to have a conversation with Naveen Patnaik without K. Pandyan being present. The allegation being that Naveen Patnaik is not allowed to meet anybody without K. Pandyan being present in that same room. Lots of talk about whether Naveen Patnaik's health is doing fine. All of these things, somewhere, did they play a role in the results or the trends that we're seeing coming out of Odisha? One more state that will be a very interesting battle to fight also is Maharashtra. Maharashtra, 48 seats, the second highest number of MPs after Uttar Pradesh are sent from Maharashtra. But it has been such a jumble inside that state because we have two Shiv Senas, two NCPs. BJP is more or less fighting on the same number of seats that it contested the last time around, but things are changing for the others. And with leads suggesting that Supriya Sure, she is trailing on her seat of Baramati and she is contesting against her own sister-in-law. Ajit Pawar's wife, Sunitra Pawar, was brought into the frame to give a big competition to Supriya Sure. Supriya Sure currently trailing on that seat. Now, this is not just a fight for sending more MPs from Maharashtra to the Lok Sabha for all parties, but remember, Maharashtra will also vote in the assembly elections a few months down the line. So, a lot of the leaders' fortunes are closely linked to what happens in the Lok Sabha elections. Before we wind up, we're going to take you through the current numbers as they stand across three different pollsters. We're going to first go to C voter. 301 for the NDA alliance leads in 301, 221 for the India alliance. We're also seeing numbers coming in from Access My India, and there the numbers are 289. NDA leads on 289 seats, 231 for the India alliance. And let's now go and see how Chanakya, the numbers coming in from Chanakya, 286. NDA leads on 286 and India on 230. So big takeaways from this election as things stand right now. Exit polls did not predict them right, underestimated the India alliance. The India alliance is giving a fight to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP juggernaut.
We're at the Indian mainland's southernmost tip in Kanyakumari, the confluence of the Bay of Bengal, the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. It is from here that we're beginning our big road trip to the heart and the soul of India, Awaaz of Democracy. That's all about traveling thousands of kilometers